Hey, it's Joe Crump. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create automated reminder systems for every task your business performs. So you and your staff don't have to remember much of anything in what they have to do each day. They'll be reminded by an email that gets sent to them, or a text, or a voice blast that gets sent to them. Let me show you first. We go to the follow-up system to do this. And then when you're in the follow-up system, you can create a campaign. So these campaigns can either be follow-up campaigns for your leads, or they can be campaigns that create lists of tasks that you and your staff can use to follow through with the process. So let's create one here. I'm going to call this new lease option memo tasks. So when we get a new lease option memo signed, these are the tasks that we're going to do. I'm going to select a category, and it's not an auto marketer or a follow-up. I'm going to create a new category, and I'm just going to call this category tasks. And I can put an exit campaign here too. If I want to do something else, or have another campaign or another task started when this one's done, I can select an exit campaign, and as soon as this one's done, it'll start on this next campaign. So I can create new campaigns, and I can have one for lead to the next, to the next, to the next, if I wanted to. But I'm going to make this a single-use campaign for a specific process, which is the tasks that are necessary if you just got a new lease option memo signed. I'm going to make it active. I'm going to allow any email, text, or voice blasts to go out from this campaign, and I can turn these off if for some reason I don't want to send out text or voice blast with this particular campaign. I can turn it off on this campaign. So I'm going to save the campaign, and then it's going to take me to step 2, and that's going to allow me to create a task. So let's call this task 1, and it's not going to have a loop. We're going to make it active, and we're going to, instead of sending it to a lead, we're going to send it to a team member. And if you notice here, you can send it to a lead, a team member, or you can send it to both if you want the lead to get that information. But just send it to the team member. If we're creating a task here, is the way we would do this. And then we could pick the team member. So if you have team members already listed, and remember, you can set up your team by going into team management, so you can create as many team members as you need. But let's just give this one to Joseph. And it's going to go out immediately once this campaign starts, and we'll keep it as a low priority. And this doesn't really change very much, except it just tells you that it's low or high. So if you want this to be a high priority for your people, you can create a high priority for them. And we're going to do it as an email rather than as a text or a voice, which we could do both of these. So if I wanted to text out, I can do that as well. But let's do it as an email. And I could select one of the previous messages that we've already created for other campaigns, but this is a specific process that I'm going to do. So I'm going to create a new message, and I'm going to save it. I'm going to pick email, and it's going to open up a window that's going to allow me to type in an email. I'm going to just call the subject photos, sign, and lockbox, because that's the tasks that I'm going to have them take care of. And then I have to choose text or HTML email. If I choose HTML, it means I can put pictures in here, and I can use HTML and format it differently. But I don't really need to, because this is just a simple text that I'm going to send to one of my people. So let me type that in real quick. So I'm going to type in, we just got a new property located at, and then I'm going to pick the system variable. I'm going to put in the lead's address, the lead city, and we can put all this other information. If I want to put all this lead information in here, I can. I can give them the lead's email, I can give them the lead's phone number, and I can address this to the specific person who's doing the work, the member on my team who's doing the work. So why don't I do that as well? So I'll put in hi, and I'll put in the team member's first name. So when it sends it out to him, it's going to be addressed to Joseph. Hi, Joseph. We just got a new property located at, and this is the address on the lead that we've got. And all of these tasks, by the way, are going to be attached to the lead. So when those sequences are attached to the lead, then it'll reference the information from that lead. So here's the whole thing. We've got its email. This is task number one, is what I've called it. The subject line of the email says photos, sign, and lockbox. I've made it a text email instead of an HTML email. And I've written, hi, team first name. So that would be Joseph. That was the one that this one's assigned to. We just got a new property address located at. And this is going to be the lead's address that it's attached to, the city, state, and zip code. And again, I just didn't take the time, but you could probably put in the email address and their phone number and their first name and last name as well, so that your team member would have that. Here are the tasks that are needed. These need to be done by tomorrow or the next day at the latest. Please take pictures of the house with a sign in the yard. We need interior and exterior pictures. Take lots of pictures and upload them to the leads contact page in the Automarketer. So this will tell them that they need to take the pictures, get them uploaded. There needs to be a sign in the yard. Call the seller, get the key, put a lockbox on the front door, put a handwritten sign on the door that says, or in the front yard that says rent to buy, no qualifying, move in today, and the phone number. Let me know when the work is done. And this is a merge field for the user. So the person who's the main the main user for the system, which would be you, the investor, would get an email from this person after they get the work done to let them know it's done. So once you've done that, you can save this and it creates a task. So now we know that this task is to be done immediately. And here's the information about it. And if you want to edit it, you can always go back in and re-edit the email. It's going to merge in the information on any lead that it's assigned to. And as soon as it's activated, or as soon as it's attached to a lead, that's when that task begins. Now I can put as many of these here as I want, and I can either, again, send emails, texts, or voice blasts to my people or to the lead or to both of them at the same time. And the next one maybe I'd put in is we need an ad posted on Craigslist, and we need an ad posted on Zillow, and we need the property posted on our clone site, listing site. And you can assign these emails to different team members and that are doing that job for you. If you've got one person who's doing all the work for you, you'd have them all go to the same person. If you've got multiple people, then you could change it around. Maybe you've got somebody who's running your admin, somebody who's working with your buyers, someone who's working with your sellers. You have different people. Maybe you have boots on the ground, a different person that does that work for you. And this way, you can have one template that has all the tasks that you do every time, and you can set up your business like a system, and that way everybody knows what's supposed to get done. This may be my favorite part of this entire system, the entire Automarketer. I love getting leads, and I love being able to follow up with them. I love all that stuff. That's what actually makes you the money. But this actually reduces my work dramatically because I'm able to create tasks. And I've been doing this in my business. I started with an old piece of software back when I was a realtor called Agent 2000, back in before the year 2000. And they had this type of system in there, and I emulated that model so that we could do this kind of thing in the CRM. And we've used it, a system like that, ever since. And it's made it possible for us to, whenever anything happens in our business, the task list goes to the person who's supposed to do that work, and they follow through with that bit of the business. And I've also got it set up so that I've got an admin person or somebody who's checking that work is done. So I always try to build my business in a way where one task is required before the next task can be done by a different person, so that if this one person doesn't do their work, the other person who needs this other work to be done finds out about it, and they say, hey, why didn't that work get done? And I let them work it out between themselves rather than having to come to me and say, hey, I didn't get this. It's all done in a process that keeps things going. And if things don't get done, we find out about it very quickly. Anytime you have a series of repeatable tasks, you can create a series like this, and you can create a follow-up system like this to remind you or your team members or your lead or yourself to get those particular tasks done and do them in the order that you want. You can set them up to go out on any day. So if on day one, this first task goes out, a week later you want another task to happen, you can set it up for a week later that to happen. 2 weeks later you can set that up, and you can set it up so that, that it reminds you over and over again, or you can have it be a one-time task. It's a really cool system, and it'll change your business, and it'll make it possible for you when you're doing these deals to make so much more money per hour that you actually work, simply by paying a low-paid employee a little bit of money to do this work for you, to follow these tasks and do this work for you, so that you can focus on the things that make the most money in a business like this, which is putting deals together and closing deals. Alrighty, hope that helps.